what's up everyone? My name is Ron from Comics and Stuff, and today we got one cool figure. I mean, if the package is any indication, the package is super cool is basically where I'm getting at, guys. So I'm just gonna delve into it right away. In the bottom we have G.I.Joe Classified Series Sgt Slaughter, Hasbro, product shot of the Sgt Slaughter figure right here. But something that I wanted to point out is that it's all centered around this piece that shows Sgt Slaughter throughout the years in his different iterations, such as the comic book, the cartoon, wrestling, even action figure. And it's centered in this main Sgt Slaughter that I don't know if the light could catch it. Yeah, you can see it. It comes laminated. So the two different textures, and the lamination doesn't end there. It also continues with the words, the Hasbro. The two different textures just make it feel great. Going to the side, we have half a face of Sgt Slaughter, but again, they continue with the lamination on his shades right here. Super cool. On the other side, 53 G.I.Joe. At the bottom, we got legalities barcode. At the top, 53 G.I.Joe star. In the back, more legalities Hasbro, as well as product shots of Sgt Slaughter. And just like the Timber and Snake Eyes 2-pack, they do show off the accessories as well as the height. Over here it says 6.75, which is a bit taller than Snake Eyes. Now, how I feel about this box, guys, I love it. This is how I think plastic free should be done. I do not want to see pictures of the action figures in the front. Then for that, just keep it with plastic, you know? This shows like love to the source material, and it's done in a way that is pretty much collector friendly, you know? Like, I don't want to throw this away. I'm gonna flatten it out and basically save it. Anyway, now that I did get into the packaging, let's open it up and check out the figure. Alright, and here we have Sgt Slaughter outside of his package. And I'm gonna tell you this real quick, guys. I think this is a very cool figure. Before we get into that though, let's do some quick height measurements. Now in the box, it says that he's 6.75 inches. Although he's pretty close to it. He's not quite there, but I won't fault them for it because I'm thinking he'll reach that height once you do put his hat on. Now, I wanted to point out that just like the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack, he does have this little weapons crate that carries all the accessories, as well as this little baggie right here that shows the Cobra and G.I. Joe logos. But getting into the little weapons crates, I think it's cool because as you can see, you can stack them up. They measure up nicely lengthwise. I mean, they're exactly the same length. Height-wise, not so much because the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack had more accessories. And they're basically the same in every other detail, except that, of course, it's written Sgt Slaughter here. Snake Eyes and Timber on this one. 52 number over here. 53 number. But as you can see, everything else is pretty much identical. But now that we did get into the weapons crates, let's go over the things that it did include. And first off, we're gonna start off with this machine gun. Now, it's not just basic molded plastic, which is a good thing. There is some nice brown paint, and on the grip, I don't know if it could pick up on camera, but it got some nice little texture. So I do like this. The next one we'll do is his stick right here, which is super cool as well. I like the nice gold metallic paint that they use. It really stands out. The grip got some nice ridges, so gives it a nice good feel. Brown handle, and at the end we got a black rope for Sgt Slaughter to grab on and just start whooping people. All right, next up is this whistle. Again, the whistle got that nice gold metallic paint, but if you look closely, let's focus. All right, if you look closely, the bracket that's connected to the rope is also painted. So the paint applications is pretty dang good. And the rope itself, now they could have just made it plain plastic, but it does have a texture to it, making it feel like an actual rope. I don't know if it's picking up, but that's really, let's see. Yeah, that's really, really cool, guys. The light bounces off pretty nicely. Speaking about lights bouncing off things pretty nicely, we need the lights to bounce off of these shades, and these shades look super great. You know what, guys? All right, look. First of all, let me just show you the shades. The paint is applied pretty well. The shades itself looks pretty cool. We're gonna put on his whistle right here on his head. See how that looks. Hangs off the neck nicely. And finally, we're gonna put on his shades. Put it right behind his ears. No problem at all. And I think that's a really good look. Reminds me of Sgt Slaughter. All right. Now that we got into those accessories though, let's head into what's in the bag, you know? All right. Stand Sgt Slaughter a little bit better. All right, like I said, Cobra and G.I. Joe logos in this bag, and includes the rest of the accessories. Let's open it up. And first one up is, all right, a pair of alternate hands. I won't do both of them. I'll just show one as to, you know what? I'll keep them ordered up right there. Let's see what else we have. A pointing hand. Cool. Let's see what else. All right, we got the hat. If you guys want to take a look at that, I mean, got some nice little black ribbon around it. It's made of a nice pliable material, so it's not rigid or anything. And oh, it got some nice little, his nice little emblem right there too. Let's see what else. There we go. Action figure mini Sgt Slaughter right here. So super cool. I love that. Another pair of alternate pointing hands. Let's see. More like clawing hands, I'm guessing. Whatever, we put that there. All right, the second pair of that hands. And I'm guessing we got one more pair of hands. Yes, we got one more pair of hands, which is the same thing as these. All right, so we got all three pairs right here. There is a couple more things. Just two little things, it looks like. Yeah, just two little things. All right, and that's the scope for the machine gun, as well as some ammo right here. Let's see how that works. Hold up, sorry guys. Alright guys, it took a while of me fidgeting with it, but for some reason I can't put the ammo in the gun. I think just the whole of it is just too small. I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong, but the scope did go in. But yeah, I can't manage to put this. We're gonna set that aside. Alright, let's head into the figure here itself. Now, I wanted to talk about everything about this figure. First off, take a look at that tank top. It is textured, nicely done. The paint applications are well painted. I mean, you could tell with the belt buckle. The jeans got some, I mean, not the jeans, the pants got some texture. And it goes all throughout except for the knee pads. And the boots themselves do got some texture, but light paint on the boots. I mean, there's almost nothing except right here on the toes. And I do got a little bit of a mispaint right there, so that sucks, but it doesn't bother me too much. The pockets are not textured, but are nicely wrinkled right here. The camo is done well. The face sculpt on this figure just gives it that good Sgt. Slaughter look. This is undoubtedly Sgt. Slaughter. So I am pleasantly happy with everything, with how this figure looks. Basically, I'm happy with the sculpt. I'm, for the most part, happy with the paint, except for that little spot right there. But I'm proud with them. I'm happy with my purchase, is basically what I'm getting at. Now that we did get into the sculpt and the face looking all mean and everything, let's head into the articulation. The bottom part of his neck does not give you almost no range at all. It goes a little bit down, but that's about it. Like, you can't move anything there. You're basically going to get your movement from the top, which is a ball and a hinge. And it does give you a little bit of tilt. Going down allows him to look pretty far down. Going up makes him look pretty high. So that's good. Arms go up like this, which is good. Does a full rotation. He's got butterfly joints that make him go back like this. Make him go forward just a tad. It does leave some unsightly gappage though, so that sucks. Bicep swivel works, but he's a little meaty, so you're gonna have to pull it away from the sides over here. Double jointed elbows that get you around there, so it'll get the job done. There is a swivel and a hinge on the hands, and the ab crunch itself, now it is ratcheted basically, and you only get one click down. You see, you can't go further, and one click back. As you can tell, you can't go further. So you're not getting crazy movement there, but it's a little bit. You're gonna get some movement though at the bottom joint over here, which is basically just back. Right here, as you can see, it does go back a little bit. Not much forward though. So that sucks. But you get nice little leans and everything. And you do get your swivel there. So that's cool. Legs split pretty dang good, which is what I wanted to show off too, guys. I mean, what the heck? I'm like, what the heck? And also, I don't know what's going on, but the engineering seems to be getting better. I can't do this with my spirit figure. I already see stress marks building, but this actually glides pretty well. There is a die cut that works just fine. Oh, I forgot to put the legs up. Legs go up like this, guys. Legs go back like that. Die cut, as you saw, worked. Double jointed knees gets you really good movement right there. There is a boot cut that's clearly hidden where it should be, which is on top of the boot. Foot goes up like this, go back like that, and there is some pivot there. So I like this figure. I even like the articulation. The only thing that I didn't like about the articulation, to tell you the truth, is probably the butterfly joints, because like I said, they do tend to be a little gappy, and the neck joint, because you basically get no movement right there. But now that we did get into the figure and we got into the accessories and this cool little mini Sgt. Slaughter, we're not going to open this one up. Let's do some figure comparisons and see how he sizes up with other figures. And here we have Sgt. Slaughter lined up with a couple of Joes. We got Duke on the left and Lady J on the right. Now guys, I also wanted to point out that I did manage to put the clip into the gun right here, and yeah, turns out I was putting it the wrong way. I'm an idiot. It's basically what I'm saying. But if you guys wanted to take a look at that, looks cool with everything together. And I did also put everything together, like his whistle, his stick, his shades, and his hat right there, so you guys could take a look at that. And I also wanted to give you a better look at this little figure, because I felt like I brushed it off too quickly before. You can tell that it does have the same picture as it does in the packaging, and in the back There's basically just a G.I. Joe star. Anyway, now that you saw how this comparison lines up, let's see how he compares with other figures. And here we have him with a couple of Marvel Legends. Wolverine over here on the left and Cyclops on the right. Now, because he tends to be on the bigger side of the G.I. Joe scale, I do think that this comparison sizes up pretty nicely. So, on to the next one. And finally, for our last comparison, here we have him sized up with a couple of enemies. Red Ninja right here on the left, and Supreme Cobra Commander on the right. And just like every other figure that we've compared him with, he looks good right next to them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Personally, I enjoyed this figure. I mean, I had a lot of fun with the accessories that it did have. I think it has a great likeness to Sgt Slaughter himself. So I think this was a good purchase on my part. If you guys got the Valorverse figure, tell me how that one is. If you guys got both, if you guys got none, just let me know how you feel about this figure. I will leave a link down to him below if you guys are interested. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. My name is Ron from Comics and Stuff, and I'll check you guys on the next episode. Peace.